Risks. These are situations involving exposure to danger, harm, or loss. The definition itself might scare anyone into avoiding such considerable consequences, but the fact is we take risks every single day. Let's take driving or riding in a car, for instance. Cars involve exposure to danger, harm, and even death. Yet before we step into our cars, we subconsciously evaluate the risks and weigh the consequences, for better or for worse. This is because we need cars to bring us to the destinations that will make the risk worth taking. From satisfying that craving for a decent cup of coffee or McDonald's fries, to reuniting with your family after years of being apart. These are the risks worth taking. Now, I ask of you to think about your own willingness to take risks. If you're hesitant, know that you are not alone, but ask yourself, what is stopping me from taking this risk? My name is Stacy Chapman. I may be fresh out of receiving my multiple subject credential and still awaiting my very first own classroom assignment, but I am passionate about making change, and that is why I am here today. I aim to inspire you as an individual who will have the courage to take the necessary risks of life. More importantly, I am here today to empower you to take the risk of leadership. Leadership expert and TED Talk extraordinaire Simon Sinek defines true leaders as the ones who have the courage to go first, to put themselves at personal risk, to open a path for others to follow. Do you have the courage to put yourself at personal risk to open a path for others to follow? Now, I asked myself that same question at the start of this instructional leadership course, and I was hesitant. I lacked my own courage, and I wondered if anyone else felt the same. As such, I saw a need for a movement of individuals who could realize their full potential in becoming an instructional leader of the 21st century. I felt that the first step to this process would be to become courageous in striving for change. Everyone has a bit of courage inside of themselves and the innate ability to take risks, but all they need is a spark to trigger a reaction. Perhaps I could be that spark that could help motivate others in finding and using their own unique voices. Or, as Simon Sinek would encourage, I could be the one to take the first risk in opening a path for others to follow. As such, my 21st Century Leadership Action Plan will focus on encouraging educators in becoming their own versions of transformative leaders. Leadership prep work. My vision of a 21st century practitioner is someone who creates a learning environment that is student-centered and is differentiated to meet the needs and goals of every student. These practitioners maintain a collaborative environment and encourages autonomy and improves intrinsic motivation. These practitioners are lifelong learners who develop their own skills and instructional practices. As lifelong learners, they also must be willing to guide and to lead others. As such, an individual who is a 21st century practitioner is taking the first step in becoming a 21st century practitioner instructional leader. What defines this instructional leader? In using the three domains of being, these leaders effectively increase confidence of followers and strengthens motivation, behaviorally builds on team exercises, and sharpens communications and collaborative skills, and cognitively learns new perspectives and grasps new concepts and teaching strategies. Overall, what truly defines a 21st century practitioner instructional leader is how they become a transformative leader, one who encourages motivation and positive development of followers, one who exemplifies moral standards, and one who fosters an ethical work environment with clear values, priorities, one who cultivates cooperation and open communication, and finally, who provides mentoring and coaching to encourage autonomy of decisions and ownership of tasks in the workplace. Now, for my design of the action plan, My vision of a 21st century practitioner instructional leader is the basis of my leadership action plan as I aim to empower others to find the courage within themselves to become their own unique versions of transformative leaders who can in turn become 21st century practitioner instructional leaders of their own. My target goal for my action plan is to create opportunities for educators to become transformative leaders who are courageous and who empower others to promote positive change in their schools and in their communities. This process of empowerment will be gradual, a step-by-step learning opportunity for educators to harness the skills necessary to be a transformative leader in a less pressured environment. Not sanctioned by any school or workplace. It is purely voluntary, but a place for individuals with the willingness to take risks in collaborating and conversing in discussions about issues within schools and outside their communities. It is the hope that this casual, coffee clutch environment, individuals will feel less daunted and more encouraged to come together in creating more authentic relationships and in using their courageous voices and creating their own initiatives. Together, those who participate in this program are able to create a more genuine culture of unity and collectivism. And in turn, these educators may feel more motivated and enthusiastic about being transformative leaders in their own respective responsibilities. Now for my steps. I wish to invite team members. As a 21st century practitioner instructional leader in charge of this initiative, I will invite team leaders who dare to lead. These are individuals who have the desire of building their own courage within themselves and in turn harness their own strengths and their innate leadership qualities. It is important to note, however, that everyone in this initiative, even myself, is working towards becoming a transformative leader who embraces the qualities of idealized influence, inspirational motivation, intellectual stimulation, and individualized consideration. Even as leaders, we are all learners. Next, design a vision. Once we have a committed group of individuals, we will meet together in a casual environment to set personal goals and individualized plans pertaining to each of their own visions of what transformative leaders can become. As a collective, our vision is to feel a sense of belonging, act on leadership qualities, and build upon knowledge, skills, and other assets in the promotion of positive change. It is the hope that through these experiences of collaboration, each individual will become their own visions of what it means to be a transformative leader. Next, create opportunities. Now that everyone has their own plans for their goals and vision, as the head of this initiative, that's me, I will create opportunities for each individual to target the areas within their visions. Further, I aim to empower each individual to take charge within their schools and communities by choosing an area of focus in which they can make an impact within their schools and communities. This will require each individual to embrace their own courage and to take that risk in becoming transformative leaders. Now, finally, collaborate. Over the next few months, our team members will continue to meet casually to collaborate as we all work together to reach our full potential as transformative leaders. Now, depending on the meeting, each will have a chance to practice leading and each will have the opportunity to take initiative of how they want to make a change in their own school or communities. As a 21st century practitioner leader, I will continue to facilitate this ongoing process. In time, I hope that all members will eventually be the head of their own teams who have the same desire to become transformative leaders who are courageous and who empower others to promote positive change in their schools and communities. My reflection. As I conclude my presentation of my leadership action plan, I reflect on my own growth in understanding the rights, roles, and responsibilities of a 21st century practitioner instructional leader. My own personal leadership vision has been shaped through our text, Introduction to Leadership Concepts and Practice by Northouse. Within the text, leadership is defined as a trait, ability, skill, behavior, relationship, and influence. A leader is someone who has the capacity to translate a vision into action and into a reality. True leadership influences other followers towards the achievement of a goal. Now, leaders recognize and encourage the strength of others. To me, leadership is taking the first step in creating change and paving a path for others to follow. Leaders are able to seek out the strengths of others and uplift those strengths. It was through my leadership action plan that I genuinely desired to motivate others in finding their courage and in harnessing those strengths into action. Truly, this experience has been transformational in my own progress and growth, not just as a leader, but as a 21st century practitioner and instructional leader. This process has been challenging through learning, growing, and planning. Still, I've found aspects of this process to be surprisingly positive in my growth, and I will continue to act, think, behave, speak, react differently because of this entire experience. First of all, this process has been challenging. The most challenging part has been deciding what problem area I wanted to focus on, and that was genuine and true to myself. What helped me to finally decide to focus on courage as the first step to becoming a transformative leader was the realization that I'm not the only one who feels the need for more courage in order to become an effective leader. Through this course, I have met and collaborated with incredible individuals who have shared their own hesitations and lacking the courage to take risks with their own leadership roles. This gave me the drive to finalize my action plan. I wanted to create similar environments for others to meet and to collaborate under no pressure in strengthening their leadership skills and using those strengths to promote positive change within themselves and for others. Next, I was surprised at how rewarding it has been to collaborate with others and in learning from others. Without their example and guidance, I would not have had the courage to be able to succeed in this learning process and overcome any challenges, especially health related. My growth through their example is evidence that collaboration does in fact help individuals to reach their goals and to become effective leaders. I have seen it firsthand in this course, and I know that I will continue to see examples of leadership throughout my educational experience. Finally, because of this entire experience, I now feel an increase in my confidence and morale. I feel more motivated in my convictions and my efforts of building upon my leadership skills. Further, I now and will continue to practice unity and collaboration and sharpen my communication skills. Lastly, I will learn new perspectives and build my knowledge and understanding of leadership. I now think that I have what it takes to encourage others in grasping new concepts and teaching strategies. Identifying these effective behavioral and cognitive engagement practices will help me focus on my roadmap to success and achieving my target goals of my leadership action plan. Now, finally, I am grateful for this opportunity to develop my own personal leadership action plan. This experience has pushed myself to become a leader who understands and values the importance of 21st century practitioner instructional leadership. I appreciate your time, your patience, and consideration in listening to my call to action of creating transformative leaders ready to make positive change for their communities and schools. I leave you with this. Dare to take the risks of leadership. Dare to lead. Thank you again. And here are my references for what I used for my presentation. Thank you.